So after 5 climactic episodes and numerous action-packed moments, The Falcon and the Winter Soldier's climactic finale is one to be definitely excited about. So let's talk about it.
Okay, and also the major spoiler warning ahead. So if you guys have not watched The Falcon and the Winter Soldier already, watch that and come back. Trust me, now you don't want to miss this review. And let's start off with episode 6. You
Oh
start out,
my.
Wolleess.
I mean, I don't know how to, because opening up immediately with the vibranium suit, like it's sort of weird because you typically see Falcon is like red and black kind of thing, like that, kind of like
Mm-hmm.
his color scheme, but you see like this Captain America new scheme, and it's kind of like they ripped what was it, the dude who, what was his name, the Captain America who murdered that Flag Smasher, what was
John,
his, John
John,
Walker.
John Walker.
John
Yeah.
Walker, yeah. They literally just ripped his color scheme and just kept it on Falcons. I think they even like took it from the comics as well. So I'm
Oh
like,
yeah.
all
It's
right, this is
actually.
actually pretty
Mm-hmm.
pretty nice.
It's actually really similar to comics. I read the comics, so
Yeah.
actually it's actually kind of like a spoiler to myself because I knew it was gonna coming. But man, they did a good job with the suit. I still prefer Captain America's suit, like Chris Evans' suit, but that's probably because it's more like uh
I mean, we grew up with that suit,
yeah,
so like
that's
we
the
probably
thing.
have some bias to it. But
Yeah.
I mean, props to the artists and the fabric makers for that. It looks absolutely incredible. Oh my,
Okay.
and what is it? Remember when we saw like what in ending of episode 5 with that shield, like that
Mm-hmm.
like makeshift shield that John Walker was making, it came back now. And honestly, that scene where he was getting like beat by the flag smashers, he was keeping his shield, and he saw that like medal of honor.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to say that. It's like it's kind of cool, but like it's hard to explain
Oh yeah.
because like because he said like the things we had to do, the horrible things we had to do, and then he looks at it and he gets hope, or like he's on the verge of a mental breakdown, but that kind of stops him. But I mean,
Yeah.
it's a cool dynamic, like a veteran basically just reminding himself of what he stood for. And
Mm.
to be fair, I feel like throughout the series, like John
Mm.
Walker, he's only been fighting for what he believes in.
That's
Like,
true.
yeah, he did it in a really, really, really bad fashion. Episode 4, like that ain't it, Chief. But he fought for he stood for what he fought for. He fought for true justice and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Although that little revenge bit, I don't really know about, but
Yeah.
and especially that, yeah, especially
Eh,
that fight scene when they were trying to get the shield from John Walker, Bucky, and Sam. They're absolutely scrapping for it.
Yeah, and also I think in this episode, I think let's give it like a quick walkthrough. So the episode did start off with
With the GRC like
yeah,
trying to evacuate that building, yeah.
yeah, it did start off with that. We did see the new Captain America, which is Sam Wilson, who's the new Captain
Yes,
America, which is
sir.
good to see. We got some cool action sequences in New York.
Hmm.
We got some new clips of the Falcon's new suit. Sorry, or Captain America's new suit. It's a cool
Hmm.
hybrid between the Falcon suit and the Captain America suit. He does keep the shield, which I think has been pretty stated throughout the series,
Yeah.
and also, but and they did. I we did see Carly. We did see Carly
Yeah.
have her climax, but at the same
Uh-huh.
time, like I don't know, they didn't give
Better
her.
peak,
They
yeah.
didn't. Yeah, they didn't give enough fruition to the Flag Smashers story or Carly's story in this finale. I think they kind of rushed it a bit too much. Like I don't know, they
Yeah.
really could have fleshed it out a bit more. So that
I
was a
mean,
bit
I
of a
feel
disappointment.
like I feel like they could have had like, I don't know, maybe I just didn't like pay attention to it, but I didn't really see any sort of like scenes where what could have motivated them. Like maybe like when everybody came back from the, what is it, the blip. When everybody came back from the blip, you can see like they could have like had like a scene where it's like everybody's like confused, and like a lot of people are suffering because like all these people just came back for 5 years. And it's
Yeah,
like, oh, whoa. I feel like that would be like a cool thing to include, um, and that could like explain like sort of like Carly's backstory
yeah.
and like what her ideology is.
Because all they really showed was just like what's happening in the present. Like, cause in
Yeah.
WandaVision, one of the characters, we got to see a backstory of her when she came back from the blip, and I forgot the name of the character, but she came back from the blip and she was in the hospital
Yeah,
and she
I
was just
remember.
experiencing the blip entirely. Like, and I don't want to go too much in depth in there, but that's just give an example. And they didn't do
Yeah,
anything like that
that's
for
all for WandaVision.
yeah, and they didn't do anything like that for Carly, which I felt was a bit like because they introduced her in a really boring, in a really dumb way, in where she was like in the back of a truck and she just came out like she's just like some side character. So there's no build up,
Hmm.
there's no like climactic reveal. It was very bland, which I felt. I because
Hmm.
like with this like when you have a series like a actual TV series, it's a good way to build your characters compared to having a movie, right? So I felt that
Yeah.
I think they missed the mark when it comes to when it came to Carly. So at the end, it didn't really like I don't really care about Carly too much at the end because of just how they really developed her. So maybe
Hmm.
so hopefully with Loki they don't do this type of like idiocracy in
They
where
don't have
in
this like yeah,
yeah like
this
where they
like
just
sort of lack of context kind of thing. But I mean, the series is still good without it. You gotta admit. But it's just like it's that little detail that like it would be cool to know in it.
yeah, and also they did a good job ending Bucky's story. Just a whole Sam becoming to Captain America. I think that they really
Hmm.
fleshed that out well. See, what makes this series really good is just Sam and Bucky. That relationship and those two characters was what really like carried the
Hmm.
series, and this, actually what makes it good. Like I actually really did enjoy this, and yeah, actually I think that can yeah, and what do you say we go into like the thoughts on the overall series?
I mean, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm definitely down for that. The entire series was absolutely incredible. The opening. I thought that it would. I thought that the entire series would be about Falcon. Like, I thought he would be Captain America in the first episode, but no, he actually gave it away.
Mm-hmm.
And then and then you see John Walker become the new Captain America, and that was like that was a pretty big shift already in the first episode.
Oh yeah,
And yeah, that was absolutely major. I thought, like, how I thought this years ago, I thought he would be Captain America. He would take on the mantle, and then he would see these like sort of struggles that Steve had to go through when he was Captain America. That's
oh
how I
yeah,
thought it would kind of play out. And he would have like Bucky at his side just to like remind him and like kind of like, oh, this is what Steve did, or this is what he did, or this is what I
yeah,
him used to do.
yeah.
But
They
I guess Bucky's relationship was kind of like that throughout the series, but it's Falcon.
Yeah,
That's the
that's
thing.
true. In
Yeah.
actually, it's practically the entire series, kind of like what you said, reverse, in where it's
Yeah.
like at the beginning, Bucky like didn't even care about him because like he obviously felt that
I mean,
Steve
I
chose
don't think he
him.
was even there that much.
No,
Yeah,
he
he
no
wasn't.
he wasn't in the first episode. I think he was like in the second
Yeah,
episode.
he was in the second episode. He saw the scene where John Walker was being, I guess, groomed or crowned. I don't know, being awarded the title for Captain America,
Oh yeah, well,
and he was just in like awe. He just had his mouth was just like open a bit. He was just like, oh, whoa, this
yeah,
ain't it.
like
And then he meets Falcon at the air wing or that air I think air. What is it? Air like they store planes in there or something like that. I don't remember.
hmm
And then he just has this like it's like this like sort of parent talk is like, why did you get the shield? Why did you do this? And then Falcon is just like, oh, we don't know wizards or something like that. And I'm like, oh, okay.
yeah,
So I felt like this. Honestly, it kind of felt like they had like a brother relationship. Like I don't know, I'm a single child, so I don't know. But this is like the stereotypical kind of like this is the brother kind of thing, and you can even see in like their like therapy session where it's just like they just have like a staring contest and the therapist just like knock it off.
oh yeah. And actually, I was yeah. So I just saw it turns out that they did introduce him in episode one, but like in episode one, you could definitely tell that they focused more on the Falcon. So I don't
Mm-hmm.
know. So Bucky didn't really get that much. See, Bucky, his story really like they started him out in episode one, but his story really fleshed out more later in the series than the Falcon, which I felt. And actually, in episode
Mm-hmm.
five, they did give him like a reason. They did give like kind of a background as to why Bucky's doing or feeling what he's feeling, so which I thought was good. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I definitely did like you can tell in the series that they focus more on the Falcon than the Winter
Mm-hmm.
Soldier, which I feel is a bit weird
Yeah.
because in the name it says the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So I don't know
Mm-hmm.
why they focus more on the Falcon. I think if they took one or two more episodes more to focus a bit more on Bucky, I think that would have balanced things out.
Yeah. Well, I think, you had basically an entire movie dedicated to Bucky, which is Winter Soldier. Or not
Yeah,
not Winter Soldier, sorry. Winter Soldier and Civil War.
yeah, yeah, but
Yeah.
I definitely do like the way how they portrayed Bucky in this story
Mhm.
the compared to the other Captain America movies was like it's weird because like in the other ones it's like you could tell it's like the same thing, but like and the other ones is like him breaking free of Hydra's control, and this one
Mhm.
is more like what he does after he broke free. It's kind of like that,
Yeah.
and
Speaking of Bucky,
mhm.
that scene where what was it? The Dora Milaje, the Dora Milaje what is it? Soldier breaking Bucky free of his Soviet like programming. And like that scene, you can tell like the amount of pain he was going through just like trying to break free from those like words that like Zemo was talking about. We'll talk
Yeah.
about Zemo later. But Bucky's progression, I actually feel like he's a major player, and especially him like talking to that Dora Milaje, a soldier, and saying like, "Oh, what's up? You broke out Zemo," and then Bucky's just like, "Hey, yo, chill. We'll wait later," kind
Oh
of thing.
yeah, you know, I don't say Bucky's the highlight of the series, but he's definitely like
He's
the
definitely like a star in the night sky kind of thing. Like
mhm.
he's a major star kind of thing.
He definitely the writers definitely did good in Bucky's part.
Hmm.
But yeah, I enjoyed Bucky a lot in the series, and actually, we talked about Bucky, but I like the real star of the show is the Falcon, and the Falcon's
Yeah,
ascension
obviously.
to Captain America is
Oh
like
yeah,
they
absolutely.
that was the best part in the series, like that just seeing that
Hmm.
level of storytelling.
Hmm.
Like
I mean, it's kind of cool to see, Falcons sort of like ever since this like small snippet from Age of Ultron, I believe, to Civil War, and then you see his little cameo in what Ant-Man, and then all these other things. It's really it's kind of incredible to see Cap's kind of right hand man turn into him, kind of
oh yeah,
thing.
that's true. Because like
Yeah,
when he lost Bucky, the Falcon,
yeah.
like Sam was like the only person, the only true like friend he could trust. And actually,
Hmm.
in the Winter Soldier, you saw that, and
Yeah.
almost everyone he knew like he couldn't trust, and Sam was like the only person who he could trust, even though he was
Yeah.
like the newest person he even met. So it's cool.
Hmm.
Like at the end of Endgame, the way how they like I don't know, maybe like maybe they did do a good job from the end of Endgame to the Winter
Yeah.
Soldier, like from the end of Endgame to this series. But like there's once again there's some parts in this series which I felt that it was a bit rushed, and actually they did try to change a lot of the plot because of the coronavirus. I think it did.
Wait, what's up with that?
So basically, the original plot was supposed to be something related with a virus, but then the coronavirus came
Oh,
in, and
oh,
if they even went close to that,
yeah.
yeah, they're gonna get a lot of backlash. So they had to change the entire story from being something from a virus to this. And actually, you could. And actually, they had time to flesh out that story, and it was pretty constrained for this one. And it's not easy to create storylines and make a movie
Yeah.
during like the
COVID,
pandemic,
yeah. Why not?
and also the time frame that they're given. So, I have
That is
respect for
true.
what they did, but like at the same time, I want to see what that virus story would have came to and how much better it would have
Hmm.
been from this series. And
Hmm.
honestly, I was gonna say like a small like little star in this series is Zemo. Like Zemo was really good in this series. Like
Oh no, absolutely. That dynamic, I didn't think we would see Zemo forever. I thought he was just like a one-hit wonder in Civil War, but then, we see him getting broke out
oh
by
yeah,
Falcon, by Sam and
yeah,
Bucky, and then he's used, and then he goes, and then the fact, like, it's kind of weird because you haven't seen Zemo in what, like 5 years since his
oh
last
yeah,
debut.
oh yeah,
Yeah, like a 5 year span, and then you get this like refreshing, like I don't want to leave my goal unfinished. I do not want to leave my job unfinished. And then he even goes, he destroys the only pure, quote unquote, pure super serums. At least that was visible to him at the time before John Walker just, stashes one with
oh
himself.
yeah.
Yeah.
Daniel Bru. Like I don't know if this is the last time Daniel Bru will be playing Zemo.
Uh huh.
But he did good. Like his acting in this series was much better than what he did in the last
Mhm.
part. You know, there's this entire
Yeah.
meme now. We're dedicated to Zemo dancing,
Oh
I think is
yeah, I
pretty good.
remember. I remember it was like what it was trending. It was like hashtag. You know how it's like, oh, release the Snyder cut. Oh, it's like it was like release the Zemo cut. And then
Oh yeah.
Marvel just like, you know what, screw it, we're just gonna get Zemo just dancing on the floor for like an hour,
Oh
and I
yeah,
guess
for an
everybody was,
hour.
yeah,
It must
it
have
was
been a
pretty
really
cool.
easy. It must have been a really easy edit, but
Just
just like
loop it,
copy and yeah,
just
just loop it.
yeah.
Everyone went from hating Zemo in Civil War to like loving him, which
Hmm.
is ironic, like
Hmm.
legitimately. You know, but
I
Daniel
think it's
Blue.
because like the character dynamic. He became like the anti-hero kind of
Yeah,
thing, you
that's
know?
true.
Yeah,
I hope Marvel gives Daniel Brühl like another chance to
I
appear.
think they will.
But
I
like,
think they will.
I think everyone's saying that this is his last part. This is his last movie or series. But
Hmm.
I hope in the next
I
like
don't think so,
Falcon.
because there's like this thing called like I forgot. It was like Thunderbolt Ross. He sends all the villains for like reduced time sentences, but they have to carry out missions for him,
Okay,
kind
but
of thing. So I don't know.
I just hope to do something with him. I hope
Hmm.
that I hope they just do like something they carry out this new type of Zemo. You know, like because I really enjoy that. Yeah,
Hmm.
and actually here, okay, and also this here's the downside of the series, which we if you did talk about a bit, but I don't want to go more in depth of it. It's Carly. Carly was a
Yeah,
bit of the
Carly.
downside of the series.
Yeah,
It had potential, but I don't know, like the way how the story, like once again, they had to change a lot of the story, and
yeah.
I get that that because of it that they had to change Carly's character, but
Backstory. Yeah.
yeah, but and then again, like the way how they introduced Carly, like I
Hmm.
felt that was a bit weird. Like okay, it was
It
like
felt unnatural. Like
yeah, yeah.
it felt unnatural because I don't really. I guess some people would hate. Like, think about it. Like, if you see like people come, like half the population coming back, like 5 years, you're just gonna be like, "What's going on?" Like, oh, we want to restore it quicker. We have to have a world without borders. You know, kind
Yeah.
of thing.
Yeah, and also like if we never knew Carly's intentions going into the series, which I felt was a bit weird, and also Carly was see Carly's goal was to eradicate governments, and by eradicating governments, she had to she had to she got super serum, which is basically the same serum which Captain America got to become Captain America, and this was just like a newer version which a scientist made. In the series, it was a scientist in one of the cities. I forgot what the name was, but there's a new city
It was
which they
like,
introduced.
yeah, I remember. And then
Madripoor. Yeah.
Madripoor, yeah, and then like what was it? Zemo shot him, and
Mm-hmm.
then what was it? Sharon Carter was like, "What are you doing?" And then and then it's just like that.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then you see like Carly just get pissed off because like her supply line just got absolutely cut, kind of thing.
Yeah, and also the power broker in the series, which
Yeah.
spoiler. Anyways,
We already made a spoiler
if you're
warning.
this far in, it's Sharon Carter
Yeah.
who appeared in The Winter Soldier. Um, but
Winter Soldier, Civil War, and now,
yeah,
yeah,
and now we got her like
now
being the
we
power
got, yeah.
broker, which it's
I mean,
I
to be fair, what was it? She was talking what in episode 5, I think. There was like the scene where she was like calling like the French dude who we saw in like not season 1, episode 1. We saw him in episode 1. She was calling him, and then there's like sparks flying, and I
mm,
kind of thought like, yeah, she's totally the power broken. Like when you think about like sparks, like electricity and like power, I'm just like, oh wait, that kind of connects to everything, you know. So I'm
oh
just
yeah.
like, yeah,
The power broke, yeah. It's weird because like there's one of these fight sequences and where you wouldn't guess that she's the power broker, but
yeah.
like yeah, I think the reveal of her being the power broker was a bit late in my opinion. They should have did a bit like 1 episode, 2 episodes earlier, and also once again, 6 episodes for what they're kind of trying to go for is I
Mm-hmm.
felt it was a bit too short. They should have had 1 or 2 more episodes more. But
Mm-hmm.
it's still fine. I just felt like it was a bit rushed. You could tell the series
I
a
mean,
bit
to be
rushed.
fair, it was like an hour an episode, so
But it's
can you really
but
blame them?
uh but still like they just
I
had I
guess.
felt like yeah even if it's an hour what they were going for I felt it should have been a couple more episodes longer
Mm-hmm.
I just felt it's a bit too rushed. Like, I'm not saying the series is bad by any means. I'm just saying
Mm-hmm.
is that it did feel just a tad bit too
You
rushed.
felt like there could have been a lot more improvement, kind of thing.
Yeah, and you know,
Yeah,
when going back to Carly, Carly was just they
she
could have
was too
been.
rushed.
Yeah, she could have
Rushed.
they could have
Not that
done
much of
something
a
more.
backstory.
They
Yeah,
they could have done something more there. But overall, there's some scenes
she
in
was an
where
average. She was like an okay character.
yeah, but there's some scenes in where you could really tell that they tried. But you know, overall, it's not bad.
Hmm.
Now, so you know, actually going, you know, what do you think's next for the MCU? Like after the Falcon and Winter
Uh,
Soldier.
Low key Armor Wars. Honestly, I'm ready to
Yeah, but like,
watch
what do you think is
everything.
gonna like the
There.
Captain America storyline? What do you think is
Oh,
gonna come after
absolutely.
this?
I can't wait for the next like sort of like Young Avengers film
Mm-hmm.
because like I want to see how Falcon, like you know how like Steve Rogers was like the kind of like the leader kind of thing. I
Mm-hmm.
want to see how Falcon will kind of take up that mantle,
Yeah, I want to see how
you know, kind of
Bucky
thing.
falls in now because I want to see how they put
Yeah.
Bucky in because I don't know if he's gonna be like a supporting character now or if he's
Uh-huh.
gonna be like a main
He's probably
Avenger.
going to be the same thing. He's probably going to be the same side character
Yeah.
too. He's probably going to be like no, wait, because you remember that military soldier who we saw in episode 1. He'll probably be the next Falcon. He was like, "Oh, there's this theory that Cap is on the moon." I think that dude will be the next Falcon,
Mm-hmm.
and Bucky will stay as the Winter Soldier himself. So
Yeah, I think actually, you know, in the comics, that guy who you were talking about, so he was
yeah,
in the
yeah.
beginning of the series. He actually did become the Falcon in the comics. He was the
Ooh,
Falcon. So, but
okay.
they didn't reveal anything like that. But
Hmm.
if it does come true, you know, if Falcon if Sam became Captain America, I'm pretty sure that guy might become Falcon. I think they're probably gonna do something. I know it wouldn't be
Yeah.
dumb for them to do the Falcon and Winter Soldier like part two, but make it like an actual movie instead of a
I mean,
series.
at the end, I mean, at the ending, they did say Captain America and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah, yeah. So I think if they wouldn't be dumb for them to do something like the Captain America and the Winter Soldier as like an
Hmm.
actual series. Sorry, no, as an actual movie. So I think
Yeah,
that wouldn't be a bad thing. And you know, I think we touched on a lot of things here. So what do you say
absolutely.
we
Yeah.
wrap it up?
Yeah, man. I mean,
Yeah,
it's been one big series, and honestly, I would give this like this is a good series to watch. And in my opinion, it's if you rewatch it again, you're not going to be disappointed.
yeah, that's true. You know,
That's
even
my
though there
opinion.
are faults like the villain, but
Oh
overall,
yeah,
the series was enjoyable. Like if you are a fan of
yeah,
the MCU or if
absolutely.
you're new to the MCU, you're gonna love the series.
Yeah,
So, you know, thank you for watching, and
yeah. Thanks.
hope you have a good day. And also make sure to watch
Yeah.
Loki. That's gonna be coming up.
Yeah,
Goodbye.
and watch us on Spotify, watch us on Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Discord, join our Discord, and all these other things. We got a link tree. You can click it, and we got all our socials there. Follow us on all those platforms, and we'll see you next time.
Goodbye.